Hey, what's up, everyone? You're here with Gordon and Kirk from PickDawgz. Thank you for joining us. We are here to talk about the Sunday games of November 9th. It's the last day of the club football, the domestic leagues, that is, before the international break. And then we got about a week and a half off or something like that. So time to win some more money, Kirk. We have some interesting games on the schedule. We have a big matchup in France. We have Lyon versus PSG. We have an interesting game in LaLiga between Celta and Barcelona. We have Manchester City versus Liverpool in the EPL. It's gonna be fun. So get on those free picks, guys. Make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and of course, feel free to leave us a comment. We also have premium picks on the PickDawgz.com website. Simply click the links in the description of this video. That will get you there. And we have the golden goal consensus, which are the best bets between myself, Kirk, and Jack. Text the word goal to 443-332-7127, and we'll get you set up with that as well. As you can see, guys, Jack was unable to join us for this video, but you're still getting his free picks as well, which means that yeah, that's all I wanted to say actually. You're still getting all three of us of ours free picks despite Jack not being here. Kirk, let's kick it off. Aston Villa and Bournemouth is the matchup in the EPL we have on Sunday.
Yeah, um, I'm gonna take Villa on the money line. It's pretty simple for me. At home at plus money. I think Bournemouth are due for some regression. Villa are playing way better than they did at the beginning of the season. I mean, take away the beginning of the season, the first 5 games, they've actually been very good for the most part. So Villa at home at plus money. I mean, it's not very difficult for me to go there.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards Aston Villa as well. They did have a midweek game. It was a 2-0 win for them against Maccabi Tel Aviv. Uh, it could have been even a higher score, but they got a win they needed and they are moving on. Bournemouth, they haven't won a game on the road since like late August, and that was against Tottenham. I mean, overall, they're having a decent enough of a season, still undefeated at home, but like you said, on the road, they're not doing that well. Conceding over 2 goals on average. I think that they could score a goal here potentially, but I'm not really counting on it. I hope we see 0-0 in the first half, as I have first half draw at plus 122, but I am leaning towards Aston Villa here personally as well. Jack is taking the draw in this one. Brentford and Newcastle is the next one. Kirk, Newcastle also played a midweek game in the Champions League, and it was a game that they won, if I remember correctly. Yes, they did get a win against Bilbao, 2-0 at home. While Brentford, coming off of a 2-0 loss against Crystal Palace last week, how do you see this one going?
Yeah, I'll take the better team here at the plus money again. I mean, I'm not a big Brentford guy in general, as you guys know, but I think Newcastle here is the play for me. They're in good form. They look good in the Champions League against teams from other countries as well, which is tough to do if you haven't played in the Champions League in a while, like Newcastle. So yeah, Newcastle on the road at plus 145, I think. Just kind of where I have to lean. I mean, it is on the road, but at plus 145, 150, whatever it is, it's pretty good value.
Yeah, what concerns me here for a bit is the fact that they're missing like 6 players because of the injuries, and they did have that midweek game against Bilbao, so there could be some tiredness here and some heavy legs. While Brentford at home are quite solid, 3 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss, 9 scored goals, still conceding a goal on average. So instead of choosing a side in this one, Kirk, I'm gonna go with goals instead. I'm taking the over 2.5, which is minus 114. The books don't seem to be expecting goals in this one for some reason, but I think it's going to be two sloppier defenses in this matchup and the offenses that can definitely score goals. Jack is taking both teams to score at minus 149 in this one. After the next one, Kirk, we're Crystal Palace and Brighton. Palace back on track. 3 wins in a row now, coming off of a win against Alkmaar in the Europa League, actually Conference League. 2-0 against Brentford, 3-0 against Liverpool in the Carabao Cup, while Brighton on the road is far from a Brighton team at home.
Yeah, and I'm kind of shocked with my pick here, to be honest with you. It just, I think the under 2.5 is probably the best play. I don't know why I wrote the words draw when I don't really know, but yeah, I guess I'm on the draw. It kind of just a weird game for me. I could see Palace winning 1-0, but I could also see a 1-1 Brighton scores. I don't think it's going to be very high scoring. Palace games at in Palace are not very high scoring usually. So the better play is definitely the under 2.5. I'll figure out a price while Goran's speaking.
Yeah, I could definitely see a 1-1 here, to be honest. And you're looking at the under,
Yeah,
the
two
price
and a
for the
half.
under. Yeah, let me. I have it open here. The under 2.5 is plus 114.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind that at all. But take, yeah, I like it. Plus money. Yeah, maybe it's 2-1, but if you get plus money on an under with Palace at home, I think it's a good bet.
Definitely happen. Moving on to the next one, Kirk. And guys, I just want to say, as we are recording this video, Tottenham and Manchester United game is going on right now, halftime. 1-0 advantage for Manchester United at the moment, but
I
there's still
just
plenty of game
realized,
left to play.
I
What?
just realized Jack said family issues. He probably meant Tottenham losing to Man U at home. That's what it is. That's what it is. Man
Oh, there
U's
we
in
go.
second right now. If they win
Yeah,
this game, well, go well before everyone else plays. But still, I didn't even realize they were
yeah,
that
yeah.
far up the table. But wow.
For the first
Anyway,
time in like ever,
yeah, I know.
they're sitting pretty high up. All right, Kirk, Nottingham Forest and Leeds is the next matchup. Nottingham Forest, a 0-0 draw in Austria against Sturm, if I remember that correctly, in
Yep,
the Europa League.
yep,
Was it Europa League? Yeah,
yep.
Europa League 0-0. Leeds coming off of a loss 3-0. Then they lost 2-0 on the road against Burnley before that. They got a 3-1 win on the road against Wolves. I mean, they have been all over the place, and they will be in that fight to avoid the relegation. I want to say pretty much until the end of the season.
Yeah. I will say you never have to question if Forest will be in the Europa League or the Champions League. They'll always be in the Europa League. They're just not good enough. We all know this. Do I think Forest really keeps 2 clean sheets in a row? 100% not. Leeds, they have to get scoring on the road. It's that simple. Um, I get Forest kept a clean sheet, but they're not going to do it twice in a row. I'll take both teams to score.
Yeah, I don't trust. I mean, I don't trust Forest at home at all, but I don't trust Leeds on the road even less than that. So I'm simply gonna take Forest on the money line at plus 135 at home. I think they have more quality than Leeds. I think they're the better team overall. They haven't been showing it this season at all, but hopefully they get a nice win for us in this game. Jack is also taking Forest on the money line at plus 139. Last one, Kirk. We have the big matchup in the EPL. We have Manchester City versus Liverpool, and here we have Manchester City, who are actually heavily favorites against Liverpool. And I know that Liverpool has been playing well. However, they are now back on the 2 game winning streak. They've kept a couple of clean sheets. They've just beaten Real Madrid 1-0 in the Champions League. Do you think they deserve to be such an underdogs in this game?
100%. 100%. 100%. Liverpool have been I mean, they've gotten so many late goals this season. They could be in 10th place if they didn't get 2 or 3 of those. If a couple of their wins are draws, I mean, they could be in 10th place and it wouldn't shock me. City have just been more consistent. Liverpool probably did play their best game of the season against Madrid, but it was at home. I I'm not saying City's going to win 4-0. I think it's a 2-1, 3-1 type of game, but close to even money. City at home. City's in better form overall this season. I'll take City.
I mean, City is scoring a lot right now. They've
Hmm.
scored 10 goals in their last three games, but they are also conceding quite a lot. A goal in every single one of their last four games. I mean, Liverpool, like you said, it hasn't been the greatest team. I mean, they're sitting third. They haven't scored a lot of goals on the road. 8 goals in 5 games, conceded nine. They still don't have a single draw on the road. Well, they still don't have a single draw overall this season at all. With both teams playing in the Champions League, I don't know. This could go either way. We could see a draw. We could see either team winning this one. We could see the over, the under. I mean, there's literally, I don't know. There's not a given pick here that I would take at any time on this
City.
game. I don't know. I just couldn't make up my mind. So I just went with both teams to score in the first half at plus 236. I could see City scoring an early one in the first like 5, 6 minutes, and then Liverpool getting back to it by the halftime. But I don't love it. I'm not a fan of this pick, but it's plus 236, so I might put something on it, just a little bit. And Jack is taking City on the money line as well at minus 105.
Hmm.
Now, Kirk, moving on to Serie, we have Atalanta versus Sassuolo. Atalanta did get a late winner against Marseille in the Champions League earlier this week. Sassuolo, I mean, they've shown nothing this season.
Yeah, I mean it's tough to go on the road against Marseille and keep a clean sheet, which probably one of their best results of the season, if not their best result. I was in love with Marseille that game. That was one of my premiums. I don't know what they did that game to lose 1-0, but they did. And props to Atalanta. I'm gonna take them here to nil against Sassuolo, who, as you said, have shown us nothing this season. Yeah, it's plus 126. I'll take it. That probably won't hit because Atalanta's a really weird team, but if I had to bet this game, that's what I would. I mean, actually, hold on. Hold on. Sassuolo's tied with Atalanta on points. I actually didn't even realize that.
Yeah,
But yeah, Sassuolo's lost two of their last three, so it's time, Atalanta. It's time.
yeah, Atalanta's
Wait,
still undefeated at home,
Fiorentina's
actually.
in last? Holy cow.
Fiorentina's garbage in Serie. They're horrible.
Wow.
As far as this one goes, I'm gonna go with Atalanta to win and over 1.5 goals. It's minus 135. They had that long draw streak of like 5 or 6 games, which they finally broke by losing last week, if I remember correctly. Yes, they lost to Udinese 1-0, and now they got a 1-0 win against Marseille. Maybe this is a bit of a turning point for this team, but Sassuolo on the road, I mean, 6 scored goals, 6 conceded goals. Surprisingly, maybe they're playing slightly better on the road than they're playing at home, but this is going to be a tough game. I think this like a 1-0, 2-0 game, Atalanta at the max, if we are lucky to see even 2 goals. So yeah, don't really put a lot of money on my pick if you decide to take it. Jack is taking under 3 goals at minus 141, which potentially could be the smartest pick of the three. I mean, I don't see 4 goals in this game whatsoever. Um, Next up, Kirk, Bologna and Napoli. Now, this one could be interesting. Bologna coming off of a draw against Brann in the Europa League, 0-0 at home. Not Eintracht, sorry, Napoli has a couple of 0-0 draws against Como and then against Eintracht, which was a bit surprising not to see a single goal in that game against Eintracht.
Yeah. This is way off topic, but who played Braga in the Europa League? It was like Malmo or something.
Uh, Let me pull that in the Europa
Because
League. Who played Braga?
I told you they hadn't conceded a goal yet, but they're not good. And then they lost 4-3. I literally disclaimed that Braga is not a good team, and then they went on to lose 4-3 at home in a 7-goal thriller when they hadn't conceded it yet. I think it was Malmo or
Yeah,
Gang.
they lost to Genk. Genk,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, what an absolute banger of a game. Fade Braga, I'm telling you, it works in the long run. Anyways, Don't know what that has to do with this game whatsoever. Absolutely nothing. But I mean, big game on paper. I don't think it's going to be a high scoring game on paper. Maybe 1-1, maybe 2-1 if we get lucky. I could see 0-0 again. I wouldn't be shocked. I think more likely is 1-1. I would not put my money on Napoli on the road. I would lean Bologna, but I just don't love it either. At the price, I'll have to take the draw here.
Yeah, I would not put money on Napoli on the road, especially against Bologna. I mean, if there's a draw on the slate, this one screams the draw.
Yeah.
It's plus 195, as you can see. Kirk has it, Jack has it at plus 200. I'm going with both teams to score. I don't know if I see 3-0 draws in a row for Napoli, to be honest. So that's the only reason why I went with both teams to score. So I'm kind of hoping for a 1-1 here, but we'll see how this one's going to go. Next up, Kirk, we have Roma and Udinese. Roma coming off of a nice win. I believe it was against Rangers
Mhm.
in the Europa League. 2-0 or something like that. Yeah, 2-0 on the road. While Udinese, I mean, they are solid, more so at home than on the road. But could they be a threat here to Roma?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Udinese, they've they've scored more than Roma. I mean, they've had 27 goals in their 10 games, which is kind of a lot. Roma have had 15, 10 scored, 5 conceded. Roma scores a goal a game, but Udinese does as well. I think this is a sneaky game here. I'm going to take both teams to score at the plus money. Udinese games just have a lot of goals, and they're in good form right now. So both teams to score for me.
Yeah, that could definitely be the case, and I'm sure Roma is not all rested after that Thursday game they had against Rangers on the road. There was a lot of traveling involved and whatnot. So, I mean, I still took Roma on the money line, but it's minus 175. I would not take that, guys. I just it's way too juiced. It's not even a good parlay piece. I think you can find a way better parlay piece on the money line that's probably equally priced, maybe even slightly better than Roma on the money line at minus 175 or minus
Bilbao's
1.
better on
Jack
the
has it.
money line.
Definitely they are. Yeah, that's one of the better picks on the money line. Um, Last game in Serie A, Kirk, we have Inter and Lazio, a pretty big game. Inter barely getting a win in the Champions League, against who was it? Against Kairat
Kairat.
2-1 at home. They had like one or two penalties taken away in the first half, disallowed by VAR. Uh, 1-0 lead late in the first half. Kairat 1-1, and then Inter scored a goal for 2-1. But I don't know. I did not watch the game. I'm not gonna say it was a nail biter or Inter just couldn't finish their chances, but I mean the result suggests it was a closer game.
I mean, I just don't think there's any such thing as an easy game in the Champions League on paper. I mean, you play these teams who have never played very good teams like Inter. They're gonna be up for the game, and you're Inter. You're
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm playing Kairat. Like this is a walk in the park. You're probably gonna take it a little easier, which is why these insane upsets happen sometimes. I mean, obviously it didn't happen, but they kept it competitive. The Inter knew they were gonna win that game probably the whole time, even when it was 1-1. It was probably a wake-up call, and then they scored probably I think it was 10, 15 minutes after, so it didn't take that long. But I gotta go with Inter here. At home against a team they know how to beat pretty easily. In the past, they've cooked Lazio, from what I'm looking at. So I'm gonna take Inter on the -1.5 at plus money.
Yeah, Inter is the better team here, and despite Lazio not losing any of the last 6 games, those weren't that convincing wins. And let's be honest, 4 of those 6, actually 3 of those 6 were draws. So overall, their form looks solid on paper, but I think that on the pitch they are not that good. And Inter will certainly come out flying for this game to get another win and join in the top of the table, right? And they are healthier than Lazio is. They are the better team on paper. They're scoring more goals. They are defending better, and everything is pointing towards Inter in this one. So I'm taking Inter to win and over 2.5 goals plus 101. If Lazio scores, fine. If not, I think we'll still be fine as far as our picks go. Jack is taking both teams to score at even money, so he definitely needs Lazio to score a goal. That's it for Serie A, Kirk. Off to La Liga. Bilbao. You mentioned this pick earlier a few minutes ago. Bilbao is hosting Real Oviedo, who are one of the worst teams in the league.
Yeah, I mean, at Bilbao, money line is fine for a parlay. For a single, I would just take them to nil. It's almost even money. So really take your pick. I think it's a 1-2-3, maybe even 4-0 game, depending on Bilbao here. I mean, the international break is coming up. This is the perfect get right game before the international break for them. They haven't been that great. They've been inconsistent. I think they'll be up for this game though. Against Oviedo, you kind of lick your chops and you're like, knowing Mr. Wickens is a part-time owner, you gotta take him out there. So Bilbao to nil for me.
Yeah, Bilbao has been struggling a lot this season. They are on a three-game losing streak, and it's not looking good for them. So I think that they can't wait for this international break, maybe to regroup and just get back at it after the international break. I think it starts here, though. They are pretty decent favorites at home. I did take Bilbao on the money line at minus 182, but this is a parlay piece, nothing else. So
I think they
if
should
you
be
like a
more
single,
favored.
they probably should be. The only reason they are not is probably because they are losing so many games,
Yeah.
and they also had a midweek game as well. So I'll still take Bilbao on the money line. Both teams to score at plus 140 for Jack. He's siding with his team to a certain point, I guess. Rayo Vallecano and Real Madrid. Kirk. Real Madrid losing to Liverpool 1-0 in the Champions League. That good streak they were on ended. Rayo Vallecano can be a tough team to beat, especially at home.
Yeah, and I just think it's gonna be a goal bath. I mean, last time these two played, it was 2-1, but I just looked at the stats and there were so many chances that neither converted. I'm gonna go over 4.5 in this game. I think it's a 3-2 Madrid win. If you want an exact score for me, that's 3-2 Madrid. But you're not shutting out Real 2 games in a row. I think they get at least 2, 3 good goals here. And Vallecano, they've kept games close against Real in the past, so I wouldn't be shocked they put in two. I'll take the over 4.5 here.
Yeah, you just know that this is going to be a different Real Madrid team after the Champions League game. I mean, they suffered a loss. It's not the first one. It's not the last one. The more important thing is how do you do after that? How do you bounce back? They will certainly go for it. I mean, they have that mentality where after a loss they want to get a win, and I mean they will probably get it. But with Rayo Vallecano losing only one of their last 7 games, I think that they could potentially do something in this game, maybe on a counter attack or something like that. I'm taking over 4.5 cards though at plus 102. I think that if Rayo Vallecano wants to stop Real Madrid, sort of, I suppose, to a certain point, they will need to make those fouls and they will need to get a little bit rough, and that should bring us some cards in this game as well. And Jack has Real Madrid on halftime, full time at plus 120, which means that Real Madrid has to lead at halftime and has to win the game in the end. Valencia and Betis, Kirk. Now, this should be a fun game. Betis had a midweek game, which they've won 2-0 against Lyon at home. And before that, they've beaten Mallorca. Before that, they've beaten Atletico Palma del Rio in Copa del Rey 7-1. They are from, I don't even know which division. But they seem to be waking up slowly.
Yeah, they're in good form, but I don't know. The screams double chance Valencia for to me. I mean, they're in the same position that they were in last season, where they're just terrible, and then at some point they realize they got to wake up. I mean, you've lost 4 of your last 5. for me at home, Betis has been in good form. Just I don't know. I just don't like Betis in this game whatsoever. I'll take Valencia on double chance. Not really much to back it up. It's just kind of history that I'm looking at here with how they've gotten themselves into this situation, but they always seem to crawl out of it.
Yeah, could be a bit of a letdown spot for Betis after going on a three-game winning streak, winning the game in the Europa League against a very strong opponent. Now you have to go on the road against this struggling Valencia team, and this is where teams usually drop their guard. And I don't think Betis is any different. So I could definitely see Valencia getting at least a point out of this game. But I also don't see them keeping a clean sheet. Those defensive issues just won't go away as quickly as people might think. You probably need weeks to work on that. A couple of clean sheets, and then you might say that you are getting better at defending, and Valencia is just not. So both teams to score minus 137 for me. And Jack is going against you, Kirk, in this one. He's taking Betis on the road on the money line at plus 120. Last game in La Liga, Celta Vigo versus Barcelona. And this one could be very fun, as we've all witnessed. And we saw that Barcelona is garbage defensively. They are horrible, absolutely horrible. I could start naming players, but then this video would get longer and longer and longer, and it just would not go. So I'm just gonna give out my pick here. I'm gonna take Barcelona to win and beat and both teams to score. It's plus 169. I was gonna go with both teams to score in over 2 and 2.5, Kirk, but it's minus 152 or something like that. So I just decided to go for a better price.
I mean, yeah, Barca should win this game, but they should have won a lot of games this season that have been too close or they end up narrowly winning. I don't know. I watched the game. I don't think the defense is as much to blame as you're probably going to put on it. I think the midfield tracking was terrible against Bruges. It just, I don't
Well,
know.
you can't track as a midfielder if your defensive line is sitting so high at the midfield
That's also true.
point, right?
It's a tactical thing. I don't even. Yeah, they do play that very high line. True. I don't know. It's tactics. It's different things. Um, but one consistent thing this season that I've seen is Farron scoring a shit ton. And he's plus money in this game to score. This game's gonna have 4 or 5 goals most likely. Um, so I'm gonna take Farron at plus money to score anytime. If Lewandowski's not in the lineup, I will be taking this as a premium. I guess I
I
can't really put.
actually think I actually think Ferran will be on the bench for this one. I think Lewandowski is going to be in the starting 11 in this game, unless Hansi Flick puts Rashford on the bench and he puts
Mhm.
Ferran on that left wing, uh, which I think might happen because Rashford has been slowly losing his pace over the last couple of games, and you just see that. I mean, if they spent 30 million on him at the end of the season, I will be pissed. I will be very, very pissed. I mean, he scored a few goals, got a few assists. Sure, fine. Anybody could have done that. When you have like 3 or 4 youngsters that are coming up, spending 30 million on the Rashford is just a stupid thing.
What
When your
youngsters are you
defense,
talking about?
well, they have that draw guy. What's Fernando something? He's like Spanish Chinese or something like that. He gets a few minutes and he's outstanding. Apparently, according to some scouts, he's even better than Lamine Yamal. And they have another one. I just can't remember the name now. And alongside Rafinha, you don't really need to spend 30 million on Rashford. Instead, spend it on a defender for God's sakes. Just
30
just
million
sign
is
one of the
nothing
solid
though these
defenders.
days.
Who?
30 million is like nothing these days though in soccer.
Yeah, but you could get a solid defender for 30 million. I
Barca
mean, you're
has
not gonna
enough
get
money. They can buy whoever they want.
sure.
They breach the rules. Every top club breaches the rules. mean, they can buy who they want.
Well, they are opening a new stadium in a couple of weeks, I think, or so.
Oh
They're
yeah.
going back to it after the international break, so we'll see how that's gonna look. Jack is taking Barcelona on the money line at minus 159. That's it for La Liga, Kirk. Off to Bundesliga, Freiburg and St. Pauli. Do we need to talk about this game a lot in a long? Uh, I don't know what I wanted to say, but I think all three of us have Freiburg in this one on the money line.
Yeah, I do think it's a weird game, with how it's priced. I don't 100% like my play at minus money, I'm not gonna lie. If it was plus money, I'd like it more, but Freiburg should be minus money. Probably just haven't been very good right now, but I don't know. After that Freiburg win on the road against Nice, it kind of feels like it's going to be a letdown spot because that was a huge win for them that I did not expect whatsoever. So I'll take them on the money line. Probably won't put any money on it.
Yeah, they had a great win against Nice on the road, and that's pretty much the only reason for me why I'm taking them on the money line. If they had lost that game against Nice, I would not be touching Freiburg here. But I could see the streak going on. St. Pauli has been garbage this season, and they are even worse on the road. So Freiburg on the money line for all three of us, as you can see, guys. Stuttgart and Augsburg, Kirk. Now this one had me worried more than Freiburg game, to be honest,
Me too. That's why I
because
took both teams to score an over. I don't know. Just something about this Sunday slate just is weird. Um, yeah, obviously I would be kind of surprised if Augsburg won this game 2-1. But at the end of the day, it's Stuttgart, and they're one of the most inconsistent teams in the world, in my opinion, right now. You just never know. You got they beat good teams, lose to bad teams. It's both teams to score and over 2.5 for me. I mean, ideally, it should be Stuttgart and both teams to score, like your play is. But
yeah.
I don't know. I don't trust it enough right now.
I mean, when you look at the standings, Stuttgart is absolutely perfect at home, right? 4 wins out of 4 games, only one conceded goal. So everything is pointing towards Stuttgart. But I mean, they had a midweek game. Augsburg will bounce back at some point. Whether it's going to be now or is it going to be after the international break, I guess we'll see. But Stuttgart to win and both teams to score at plus 190, that's why I went with it. I think that Augsburg could potentially score a goal. Whether or not Stuttgart gets the win, I don't know. They should on paper at least, but we'll see how the game is gonna go. Stuttgart minus one at minus 115 is Jack's pick in this one. Uh, Eintracht and Mainz. Kirk, Eintracht had a few unders. Looks like they're cooling off a little bit as of late. So they had a 0-0. They had a 1-1 draw against Heidenheim before that. Lost to Borussia Dortmund after a penalty shootout in the DFB Pokal. And then another under against St. Pauli, 2-0 at home.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, this is my favorite game of the three. It's Frankfurt moneyline for me all the way. Mainz has been god awful this season, and they're in the relegation zone. But just another one. It's like Mainz is gonna wake up at some point. Is it this game? I don't know. If I were to bet any of the three in the Bundesliga or put a premium on it, it would probably be this game because Frankfurt. I mean, going to Napoli and not conceding is pretty darn good, to be honest. Also, not scoring is the other issue. At home against Mainz, though, I think they will be able to score. Will they be able to keep a clean sheet? And they've been doing that pretty well. So Frankfurt for me here.
Yeah, I got nothing else to add. I also have Frankfurt. Jack has Frankfurt as well. And if you take all three home teams in Bundesliga on Sunday on the money line, you are getting a parlay of plus 419. So Eintracht to win, Freiburg to win, and Stuttgart to win.
Don't do
That's
it.
plus 419. A bad, not a bad thing. I might put something on this. Looks interesting enough. In the French League One, Kirk, we have Strasbourg versus Lille as one of the two games we'll be talking about. Lille, I mean, they are not doing great right now. They are still slight favorites in this game, coming off of a loss against Crvena Zvezda on the road, 1-0. They're doing a lot better at home than they're doing on the road. So I don't know. What are your thoughts about this
First, I want to say sorry for Paris FC losing at home yesterday.
one?
I told you, Ren money line was a good play. Um, who was home? Was Paris home or Ren home?
Paris.
Oh Lord, I'm even more sorry. You're probably in the stands for that one then.
No, I had over 2.5 as a premium though, and
Wow.
they sucked a big wiener.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's get on to the picks. Um, this is a draw for me. L- Lille hasn't been bad. They're sitting in fourth with 20 points. Strasbourg, they've only won one of their last four games in the league. I think it's a 1-1, 0-0 game. I think the draw just has too much value in this game for me not to take it.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just watching the game. Somebody got kicked in the head. Well,
Mm.
maybe Romero didn't even touch him. Fuck's sake. Anyways, I decided to go with the dog in this one. Well, I have the wrong graphic here loaded. Wait, let me pull this up real quick. Strasbourg, there it is. I am taking Strasbourg on the money line plus 172 at home. Whatever happens, happens. I don't expect much out of it, but we'll see if I'll even bet this one in the end. And Jack is taking under 3 goals at minus 152. Last up, Kirk, we have Lyon versus PSG, a big matchup in the French League One on Sunday. Last game of the day, Lyon coming off of a loss. It was against Betis 2-0 on the road, which was actually their third straight game on the road. They have a couple of draws and a loss, but now they're coming back home to face the best team in France.
Yeah, and PSG in the league hasn't been like they were last year, in all honesty. I mean, they were running away with this. I think they were perfect after 11 games last year. I think they had 33 points or something. I mean, now they only have a 2 point lead over Marseille and Lens. Lyon has drawn their last two games at home. PSG have drawn three of their last five games in the league. I'm going to go with the draw here. I think Lyon does enough to get back on track here and draw PSG here at home.
Yeah, and I don't know what's happening with Hakimi. Did he got hurt badly against Bayern, or he's gonna be playing in this game? And there's even been some stuff about Dembele not being fit for this game either. He might be given some rest. We know the Due is out from before. I don't know. I think Lyon could do something in this game. I think they feel like they could maybe redeem themselves for losing to Betis. I don't know. Can they get a win at home? I mean, like you said, PSG hasn't been their best selves like they have been last season, uh, up to this point. But I don't know. I just feel like we don't see a clean sheet in this one. So I'm taking both teams to score in over 2.5 plus 101. If Lyon gets a win, that will make the French League One that more interesting. It's still early in the season, but we'll at least have like what 4 or 5 teams within maybe 4 points, 5 points. So
I mean,
that's certainly gonna make it interesting.
there's seven teams right now within 5 points, which is,
More
I
than
mean,
usual.
yeah, I don't think this year is gonna. I would not be shocked if this year PSG doesn't win it with their injuries and all this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just a lot of teams like Lens this year, like they're legit. Rennes not bad. Monaco's always there. Marseille's always there. Lyon and Lille are always in the mix. I mean, you get a couple bad results if you're PSG, you're in trouble.
Yeah, it always comes down to that who is awake after the Christmas break, right? After New Year's when the leagues start back up. who is awake, who's ready to play, how the winter transfer window goes, and whatnot. But I'm hoping for an exciting French League One league this season. Both teams to score in over 2.5 for Jack as well at -105. That's it. Thank you for joining me here, Kirk. Thank you for joining us, all of you guys out there watching. Feel free to leave us a comment, subscribe, hit that like button, and we'll see you guys soon with more free picks.